Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente yo-yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 470 in a row. My name's Rob Hoback. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled that you keep coming back like for reals. Hey, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. That's right. It's a hump day. Hump day for you, Aunt Barb. The kids are here, but they're all up, so I can be as loud as I want to. But that reminds me, it's a work day, and I got things to do, so it's time to go. First things first, I'm still the realist. Haven't dusted this one out for a minute, but kind of a big deal, right? Yeah. And that's all about confidence, right? That if we don't believe that we're a big deal, that our mission is important, then we get bogged down in stuff that doesn't matter. So by saying I'm a big deal, like I'm on a mission, I got things I've got to do, and I've got to stop messing around with nonsense. When I say nonsense, I mean people in my life that aren't bringing the value that they should. If they're only taken and they're not given, you got to get rid of them, shake them off, right? Especially if you've had the conversation and they just don't seem to get it. But people and projects, things at work, like I'm in charge of my time, right? And so I can say no thanks. I'm not going to mess around with that stuff anymore. And apply the Mamba filter, right? Like I love this. We have to find something beautiful to take from all this pain. And it's like, Kobe, it's like his spirit is everywhere because it is, right? And as long as we talk about him and we think about him and all of the things that he did, like he's with us. So when I walk up to a situation now, it's like, all right, apply the Mamba filter. If Mamba were sitting right next to me, and I said, hey, Mamba, you think I should be messing around with that? And, you can just see him with that smart ass grin, even though I've never met him, never had a conversation with him. But, just kind of like, what do you think, right? And if you don't believe that you're important and that you have a purpose, ain't nobody else going to believe it first. You got to believe it first. You have to bring that confidence with you. So, yeah, kind of a big deal. My thank yous go out to Art, right? I want to share this. Addie brought this home. That was cute. She was telling me that when her teacher was telling the kids, like, hey, on the other side of the lines here, you got to make sure you stay. She's like, you need to color like Addie. So Addie was really proud of that. And then I found this yesterday. Sam drew this a couple years ago. That's a signature up there. But, him drawing a picture of Kobe. And, he drew like Kobe, James Harden, LeBron, Russell Westbrook, like the All-Stars, right? And so it's just pretty cool that he drove that. I wanted to share that with you. And then the other thank you is for laughter, the best medicine. So, I've shared with many of you how my setup here at home, this is an area that was, when we bought the house, it was set up as a dining room, living rooms over there, and kitchen. And so I always have a TV on. Sometimes it's muted, sometimes there's music, sometimes there's sports talk. But, one of the shows that I watch is the Dan Patrick Show, and I love it. I love just the whole vibe, everything. It's Dan and his guys, and he's got researchers, and they're constantly in conversation. It just looks like a lot of fun, right? But yesterday they started off the show, and they're like, look, it's Super Bowl week. Everybody's got a heavy heart, but we're going to choose to try and make this show lighter and bring some levity back, right? And they did it, right? There were a couple of segments on as I was working. I just was able to overhear them, and it was fun. I felt myself laughing, and it felt good to laugh again. Sharon, I don't know about you guys, but it felt like I hadn't laughed in a month, and it's only been a couple days, right? But that's how sad it was. So anyway, so laughter. And I think that, again, if we apply the Kobe filter, the Mamba mentality to it, like, all right, is it okay to move on? Like he would have already been moved on. He'd be like, look, man, I can be sad and practice, right? I can be sad and work just like we can. It's time to go. It's time to move on, right? It's time to take the lessons with us and get back to work. And, we've talked about this, your legacy. What's your legacy going to be, right? Like if it's a flimsy legacy and it's one person. Kobe laid it down, man. He laid down a legacy in granite that will live for probably as long as humanity is around. For reals, here on Earth. Life well lived, no doubt about it. All right, so here's the thought of the day. This came from my book, the All In book. Speaking of which, I'm going to see the DQ today. She's going to be interested to hear about that. I've been working on my card for her. All right. See? Start it, right? Anyway, yeah. So in that book, there was a chapter talking about why not, right? Why not just go all in? Why not pursue that thing that you're like, oh man, it's too big? And think about that, right? Think about, I mean, we're on 470 now, probably about like in the first 10. I talked about, talking to the General Lee, my dad, and his advice was don't fight it. Whatever you feel like you're being called to do, don't fight it. And number two is dream bigger, right? No matter how big you're dreaming, the worst thing that could happen is you could like check off everything and then you're like, now what, right? Because life is redundant. There are things where, especially if you have kids, your job and things like that, that there's a Groundhog Day feel to it. You got to have something. You got to have a place to go. Be like, man, I can still do that. And what I wrote down is, why not us, right? Why do we all assume that, oh, that great life, that's for people, like you watch Patrick Mahomes, you're like, well, I'm not like that. I'm not like Kobe. I guess I'm just supposed to live in these tiny little houses in a row and, you know, help somebody else. No, F that. Forget that. Why not us? Why not now? Why not you? Why not that? Right? Meaning, like, why not? How many times have we sat there and been like, that was a good idea. I had thought about that, but I didn't do anything. And the only difference between you and the person that did it was they actually took action versus just sitting around talking about it. So yeah, I'm committed to this. I continue to take at least one or two steps every single day towards my passion, the Ville, our sports entertainment complex that can change a region of the United States, right? With a beautiful business model that is compassion and community and commercial and commerce and all those things. You put them together, it'd be beautiful, right? And so I just have to keep going. Why not us, right? It was in that book, the 2004 Red Sox talk. There's a legendary, story about, they were after they went down 0-3 to the Yankees. They're like, no, why not us? Why can't we be the first team to do this? And if we believe it, then it can happen. I was listening to Joe Namath talk to Peyton Manning, right? I watched the Peyton's Places last night, and Joe was talking about it. He's like, yeah, everybody thought I was crazy when I started talking about, I guarantee you we can beat them. And he knew something. He knew that he had done the work, and when the opportunity presented itself, he was ready, right? And so he was confident. He's like, why not us? We can beat them. They're humans just like we are. And so, we talk a lot about how sports matter, right? They give us a great example, and that mindset. May we all have that, right? Why not us? Why not us? Why not now? Why not you? Why not me? Let's go get it, right? Mamba mentality. With that, we're done for the day. Hands up. Peace out. We're better together. Appreciate you stopping by on a hump day. We'll be back tomorrow on a thankful Thursday. We'll see you then. Deuces.